Good
Oh
morning. Good
man.
morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome back to the show. Ooh, yeah. This is episode 617 of the Two Dumb Yinzers. I just want to say to everybody, welcome back. We are currently in season 6 of the show, Mike. Season 6, we're 617 episodes in.
Ooh,
Um, Maybe go check out everybody. Go check out some of the social media pages, uh, Facebook, X, Instagram, Threads, all kind of places you can check out the Two Dumb Yinzers. You could always Google us. There's all kind of cool stuff, even if you Google the Two Dumb Yinzers. So we've been in doing this for 6 seasons, like
that's
617.
that's a lot of time on air with you.
I've never done anything for 617 times. Anything.
Me, there's some things, but we can't talk about those on air right now.
Derpy, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Despite not getting my coffee this morning, I'm doing good.
Oh, between the,
Ooh,
the both of you, no coffee.
Yep.
I'm doing great. I had my coffee. I told you I had some pumpkin coffee. I'm doing great.
You had
Uh,
pumpkin coffee.
Yeah, I
oh,
like pumpkin. We had this discussion last week, Derpy. Where were you?
I think it was just a couple days ago we had this conversation, but
Yeah,
um, so you like all the pumpkin stuff, huh?
I do. I don't like. I'm not one of those people that I get all amped up looking forward to it. But when I have it, like I like it.
Huh. Interesting. Do me a favor.
Yeah.
There she is. Okay, I do see Jen on the board. Before we get started, I do want to. I want to bring something up. I want to ask Jen because the other day she did comment on the board or
Hmm.
on the YouTube page, and she asked us, or she had said something along the lines. If I could just pull it up, give me a moment. Uh, Apparently, they give beer out, but that wasn't the most. That's not where I have the questions. I have more questions, Jen. So just give me a second so I can pull this up real quick. So yesterday on the comment board, Jen said this. Because I was going on and on complaining about Halloween and the fall time and pumpkin everything and just all the things that people go crazy about this time of year. And then Jen says, here in Wisconsin, we pass out beer to the parents as they take their kids door to door. Would that change your mind? You know what? I have more questions than I have answers, Jen. My questions are this: you have trick or treating on October 1st? Um, that was my
What?
first question. I thought because till the end of the month we don't have trick or treating, right? I don't. And the second part of the question is this: do the parent? I mean, does everybody do this in Wisconsin? Does everybody pass out beer? Because if they do, you could be sloshed by the end of the block. Because you figure if everybody hands out beer to the adults when you're taking the kids trick
Hmm.
or treating, and there's I don't know 10 houses on a block, let's just say that's 10 beers before you even leave the block, which I like. Don't get me wrong. Yes, Jen, that does affect my decision. But as I said, there was just more. As I said, there was more questions than answers because again, do you do this all month? Again, that was on October 1st. I think she made that comment. And if they're already
It's,
doing it on October 1st, man, these people in Wisconsin are lit
I think she's saying for Halloween, the day of whenever they have their trick or treating, they hand out beer, not the whole month.
because the way that the thing is written, it was like, sorry, I missed a show today because it almost
Yeah,
seemed like it was because.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so those are my questions, Jen. I thought about it. I mean, geez, oh man, over the past 2 days, I've been thinking about this. I thought, hold on, what? But then I said, geez, and you know how you kind of you drag your feet when it's time to take the kids trick or treating. You're like,
Yeah.
fuck, I got to do this. I would be excited if every house you went to gave me a beer.
Oh, me too.
I'd be hitting this whole town. Believe me, this kid would have more candy than they've ever had. Okay, there she is. She says on the board, she goes, we don't have it until Halloween. I was wondering, it just seemed like the way that it was worded, it was going down that day. And if that was the case, I thought they do this all the way through October. No wonder the Brewers and Wisconsin just must be a really great place to live, which I don't doubt it, but it probably is. But like I said, it certainly gave more questions than answers. And again, I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that.
We,
Derpy,
we 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 need to find out around the area if they have that, so you'll get into the spirit of the season.
I've never heard that. Jen also says on the board, however, we do not pass up a chance for some good beer and to drink. And that's awesome. Like I said, I can imagine. I can imagine Wisconsin's a pretty cool place to live. And Jen just confirmed that. But yes, good morning. Also on the board, John says Ryan has. We're talking about being in season 6, 716 burps and 50 podcasts, or 14.3 per episode. I like that. That's sounds accurate.
That does sound about right. My God.
But here we are. We're back today, everybody. This is Thursday. Slowly but surely working our way to the weekend. Back with the guys. Derpy, you didn't have your coffee, huh?
Nope.
That's not good on pick day, man.
That's what I like to hear. Durfee's not going to be fully in tuned and fully mentally engaged in this episode. So
Yeah.
I'm predicting that my predictions will be the correct predictions.
Well, you know what? You do have the opportunity to catch up today, Mike. You were down 3-1, three
Yeah.
to one. Derpy had won 3 so far. You had won 1 in the first 4 weeks of the NFL season. But we will get to that later on in the show, guys. Let's talk some football. Let's talk some Steelers. Guys, this is the first ever meeting between the Steelers and the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football.
Ooh.
It's going to be a showdown because I do got big news. We have injury issues. Of course, Dallas, they now say that Brandon Cooks will be out.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of help for us on their offensive side of the ball. Of course, we already know Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence to be out on the defensive side of the ball. So these are some advantages for us. However, we have our own share of issues with injuries. I'd like to see Roman Wilson finally get some playing time this weekend. Isaac Seumalo is a possibility. He could be playing, which is huge for this offensive line. And speaking of Roman Wilson, a lot of talk this week because Devontae Adams out in Las Vegas demanded to be traded. We were on a
Mhm.
very short list of teams. I believe the Jets, the Ravens, maybe somebody else, and then us. I don't know if I'm going to get as
I
worked
kind of
up.
don't want him.
Well, I don't want him. I want him. I mean, I want his talent, but I
Yeah.
listen, if he's going to bring head case issues, like I said, it took a
In
while
the
to
contract.
get rid of all the head case issues that we had, and it seems like we're finally getting the locker room back to where it should be. But you know what? Again, at the end of the day, I don't work there. At the end of the day, it's not my money, and at the end of the day, if they get him, you know what? He's going to probably perform well on Sundays, and that ultimately benefits what my interests are. But Devontae Adams, Mike, and of course Derpy mentioned the money, and of course that'd be something that they would have to figure out.
Yeah.
But what do you think about the Devontae Adams idea? And again, being on a very short list of teams that he would be willing to get traded to.
Um, God, I love his talent. I I think he's still one of the better receivers in the league. Um, not what he once was, but still damn freaking good. I'd love him. Give him to me. I don't. I'm not worried about the salary cap. That's not my job. That's in
Right.
Ron's job and his team's job. Um, maybe like he is prone to the boo-boo phase. He is prone to the saying, I want to go here. He wanted to go leave Green Bay, follow his boy Carr to the Raiders because they played college together. That didn't work out. It's not working out now. Now he wants to go preferably to the Jets to follow his other boy, Aaron Rodgers. But he said, like, I'll go to Pittsburgh. He even said the 49ers. And like you said, a couple other teams he'd go to. Do you want the drama that comes with him? But he's one of those guys, the talent and the production you're willing to put up with. Okay, just do what you want to say, what you want to say, but as long as you're out there producing and you don't cause strife in the locker room, okay, we'll take you. But George was pouting on the sidelines, throwing his helmet, didn't want to talk to the media. Then you add this guy into the mix. Do you want that volatility in there when we're supposed to, got rid of Deontay to make the room happier and better? Do you want to interject that personality? I want the
That's the
talent. I
big
want the
question.
production. It's just what you've been trying to rebuild in the locker room. Do you want to throw someone like that in there?
John also says on the board, he says the team isn't one wide receiver away from a ring, so I dismiss all individual player talk, such as Ayuk and Adams. And ultimately, he's right. I mean, if you're trying to build and move forward and make this team better, because there's plenty of holes in this team, as we're finding out as time
Mhm.
goes on. Do you throw all your eggs in one basket. I don't know. I don't think. I don't know. I don't know. Again, at the end of the day, I would like to have his talent,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I want everything that comes with that. And
I would see. I would be looking for someone like a tier down. Yeah, it's not going to have that name value, not going to have that wow factor, but someone who can still go out there and produce, be a good number two next to George, and you know take pressure off of him, take pressure off of Fryermuth, allow Wilson to grow, allow Austin to continue to blossom the way he is. Someone like a Christian Kirk out of Jacksonville, maybe T Higgins out of Cincinnati. Maybe are they dumb enough to do an interconference trade if they end up losing this week? There's rumors going around that T Higgins will be available if the Bengals lose. I want to find someone on the lower tier. That way, it's going to cost less money, going to cost less assets, and someone who can step into a number two role. Doesn't have to be the guy. Let George be the guy. Let him be happy being the guy, and someone who can fit in better into the locker room. And you have more money, more assets to go out and acquire more pieces in the offseason to build the team, keep building the team.
here's a lot of the work they've been doing over the past couple of days. A
Ooh,
lot of practice squad work, players moving around, guys you may or may not recognize, and some names you may see here in the future. But this, nonetheless, is some of the work that they've been doing the past couple of days. Max Sharping, the offensive lineman, he was on the Washington practice squad. We are planning on signing him. Of course, we need a lot of offensive line help. Andy Isabella, the former wide receiver out of the Arizona Cardinals, he was working out here over the past couple of days. We released cornerback Darius Rush. We released Jalen Edward. We released fullback Jack Coletto, and we released Marcus Haynes, linebacker. We also signed outside linebacker Iku Leota to the practice squad. He was a Panther. And finally, edge rusher Jacoby Wyndham. Oh, and running back LaMichael Perrine are players that we did sign. So little bit of moving around. I don't know if we're going to see
yeah,
Devontae Adams be moved around. However, again, if you leave all the BS aside, I would love to have him here. His talent is
yeah,
top notch in the league, but I've seen just personally a couple things over the past year that I didn't like. That as I said, could go a long way in being bad for this team.
yeah.
So we will see. We'll continue to follow this story. We'll continue to see what's going on with him, Mike. And if he would happen to end up playing in with the Jets, get this. Aaron Rodgers so far, he has 893 yards. The team across the town that plays in the same stadium, the Giants, Daniel Jones, has thrown for 951 yards so far
Mm-hmm.
this year. Mike, Daniel Jones has outthrown Aaron Rodgers to this point. So is that something that Devontae Adams looks at and says, "Oh yeah," or does he see himself as an opportunity and say, "You know what? Maybe I can make that situation better in New York." Nonetheless, I think it is the Jets, the 49ers, the Ravens were certainly brought up in the
Mm-hmm.
conversation as well. The Pittsburgh Steelers on the short list of teams that Devontae Adams would be interested in being traded to. Again, I don't think I would get as worked up about Devontae Adams as we did about Brandon Ike for a couple of
Yeah,
reasons. For one, didn't we learn our lesson? And for two, again, the personality he brings, I think could be more
yeah.
harm than good. And as John said on the board, it's not just a one guy's going to fix this
Mm-hmm.
whole thing. We're going to be in the Super Bowl. I mean, you'd like to see it. And if they do happen to do it, great. But bringing Devontae Adams with all the other issues and holes that we do have in this team right now will
Yeah.
hardly lead us to the Super Bowl. And will that piss this guy off? Will he become a head case and
Yep.
we don't win when and all of a sudden now we start having issues with him like we did with Deontay maybe, or just those kind of issues. And do we want those problems?
I don't want those problems at all, and I think he'd be a much bigger headache than Deontay
Yeah,
Johnson
I do
ever was.
too.
Like yeah, I know. Let him go to New York. Let him and Aaron Rodgers and that whole crew that he brought over from Green Bay with him. Let him go over there and fail. That's what I want to see happen. Um, but if he can come here and keep his mouth shut, keep his head on right, yeah, give him to me. Give him to me 7 days a week. I love him and Pickens and Alston and Roman Wilson if he ever makes the field and Fryermuth. It'd be nice offense. But like John said, like that offensive line, it's hard to go. You're not going to trade for a starting offensive lineman unless you have a team that's completely falling apart and wants to sell off pieces. No one's there at that point yet, and O linemen are hard to find, and teams won't get rid of them. Though they're happy to get rid of the wide receivers. It's passing league, so let's just trade those guys around. But yeah, I don't know. It's
Yeah,
I want to like I said, I want to get someone down from that second tier down from him. like I said, like the Christian Kirks that you're hearing about, maybe a T Higgins, someone in that range.
Oh, T Higgins will be fantastic.
Oh, T Higgins,
I don't
like
even
he
think
could
that's
be.
second tier. I think that's
I know, no, but I would say like in the name value, like a lot of
yeah,
fans don't see T Higgins as a number one receiver, and I think he is. You put him on any team, he's just about any
absolutely.
team. He's a number one.
Well, before what's her face got there, he was the number one, and he was
He
very
was,
effective.
yeah, yeah. He had it. I'd rather have T Higgins than Jamar Chase, just
Uh,
because we can afford him.
but again, Brandon Cooks out, wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. He is productive. He is out with injury. Also, again, Micah Parsons, Demarcus Lawrence. This does, in fact, as I said, kind of even things out because we do have a lot of injuries as well. This could be very interesting, guys. I think Sunday night's game is going to be amazing. Hopefully, with us on top when it's all said and done. Mike Derpy, these are the top two regular season leaders since 1966 in Super Bowl one. Uh, Dallas Cowboys has the best winning percentage since then. Pittsburgh has the number two best winning percentage since then. Dallas Cowboys are 539, 362, and 2 since Super Bowl one. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are 529, 367, and 7 since the Super Bowl era began. Again, 500 and yeah, so that's they're 1-2 is basically what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
So I mean, it's not only going to be a good football game because we're looking okay this year. We're sitting at 3-1, they're at 2-2. But again, the Dallas Cowboy Pittsburgh Steelers rivalry, it's inflamed again. This happened 3 times in the Super Bowl. They beat us once, we beat them 2 times. So just for the sake of the series, and this used to be a rivalry. You used to hate the Cowboys, and I still do
Hmm.
hate the Cowboys for the
Me
sake of
too.
hating the Cowboys. But here it is again, guys. We got them coming to town Sunday night. Super excited. And again, I think we have a really good chance of winning this game. They have some key players out. I think the key players on the defensive side of the ball is big, Mike. But what's this Pittsburgh Steelers defense going to be able to do to stop the Cowboys from doing what the
Mhm.
Colts were able to do last week?
That's a good question.
Right.
Because I've been thinking the same thing all week, and you know, I don't know. I don't I literally I do not know. But the defense did bounce back last year after the loss to the Colts. They had that little 3 game losing streak. They ended up finding their footing. I think they're going to do the same thing here. But now you don't have to worry about Brandon Cooks opposite CD Lamb. And Brandon Cooks, he's another guy that people don't think
Yeah.
about how good he's been since he's came to the league. He's been in the league since 2014. Now, been a decade in the
We
league.
considered him a couple seasons ago. We didn't
Yeah,
make the move though.
yeah,
He's tough. He's a
yeah,
productive receiver,
yeah.
man.
Everywhere he goes, he's had like 1,000 yard receiving season or close to. I think
Yeah.
The last stop in Dallas, he's just fallen under 700 yards, but he's a good receiver, so we don't have to worry about him. You can key in on CD Lamb, their tight end. Missing it off the top of my head. Ferguson. I'm not too worried about him. I'm not too worried about their running game. I'm focusing all my attention on CD Lamb and Dak Prescott. I'm doubling CD Lamb all day long. No disrespect to Porter, no disrespect to Dante Jackson. You're getting safety help with CD Lamb. That's what it's going to have to be. And then I trust whoever. I wouldn't follow him, shadow him. I let each of these guys, if he lines up on Porter's side, you take him. Lines up on Dante's side, you take him. And then that way, your top, we still have a top corner on a backup wide receiver that I'm not worried about, Jalen Tolbert. Okay. I'm not going to get beat by CD Lamb. I think our run game, our defense is going to bounce back. We're going to be able to handle Rico Dwade and Ezekiel Elliott.
Rico
Okay.
Suave.
Yeah. Rico Dwadley.
I like our chances against Rico
Yeah,
Suave.
Rico Dwadley is now he's listed as the number one starting running back in Dallas, according to ESPN. But I think we can handle that. Our front seven is going to be able to handle their front seven. It's going to be a battle. I think we get back to Steeler defense. That Colts line was just phenomenal. I think we match up much better against this Dallas line. And I'm doubling CD all day long and say, all right, you beat me with Tweedledee and Tweedledum in the backfield. I'll take my chances with their running game.
Let me address on the board. John says more passing to running backs and tight ends. Hayward is missing in action. The wide receiver coach needs to kick some ass about the lack of separation, then more targets for
Oh
players. They
yeah,
have Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more.
Dude, I,
Also, Mark Malone says on the board, hope Siamalu makes it back. That's so big. That is so big, especially with
mhm.
another guy going down last week. I just want to get him back in the lineup, back on the offensive line. I feel a lot better if Siamalu would get back this week. But we will
Yeah.
see, guys.
Yeah, like John was saying, like the lack of separation. So he saw it too. Like one of the passing charts from one of the sites puts out, like the separation of the receivers and then the quarterback accuracy. We have like the worst separation, but Justin Fields has the best accuracy. So if these guys would actually get open more, his percentage would be higher, and this offense would be clicking. They're just having trouble getting separation. I was looking through all the nerd numbers and stuff. It's too much, too much. Yeah, Rico Suave, too much melatonin.
We're I'm actually not on the board. I'm flipping over to something real quick. Um, yeah, I mean, and you know what? Not having a number two receiver certainly doesn't
Mhm.
help either. It shrinks the offense, and if you're trying
Yeah.
to figure out what to do in the situation, it's a lot easier to game plan for one receiver than it is for two. Guys, this is Mike's talking about the
Oh.
accuracy of the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Justin Fields. Here's a little comparison from Justin Fields to Patrick Mahomes
Hmm.
in the
I seen
first
this.
quarter of the season, guys. Total yards by Patrick Mahomes, your Super Bowl winning quarterback, 965 yards as we speak. Justin Fields 975 yards. So as of right now, Justin Fields, in fact, has 10 more yards thrown than Patrick Mahomes.
Getting better.
Yeah, not much. Let's continue. The completion percentage. Patrick Mahomes, who's not having the greatest season. He doesn't have
Mm-mm.
great receivers, but he's still doing what he does. He has a completion percentage of 68.6, and your Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback, Justin Fields, 70.6. So 2% higher completion percentage than Patrick Mahomes. Number three, total touchdowns. Total touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes, altogether, run, throw, everything. He has 6 on the season. Justin Fields has also 6 touchdowns on the season between ran and passed. Interceptions, guys, between Patrick Mahomes and Justin Fields. Hey, this sounds crazy. If you're just tuning in, you're
Hmm.
hearing comparisons between Mahomes and Fields. Well, so far we're 3 for 3, and our quarterback has been better in all three. Number four, interceptions. Patrick Mahomes, as of right now, has thrown 5 interceptions, and Justin Fields has thrown one. And finally, number
Mm.
5 on the list, passer rating. Patrick Mahomes, 89.7% passer rating. And Justin Fields, guys, 98.
Mm.
98. So again, total yards, completion percentage, total touchdowns, interception, and passer rating is all led. And again, don't get me wrong, Mahomes isn't having the greatest year with stats. However, it is Patrick Mahomes, and however, Justin Fields leads them in all those categories. So again, if you're kind of concerned, you don't know what to think of our quarterback situation, it's not bad if the guy is outperforming Patrick Mahomes. We're 3-1. I can see if we're sitting there at 1-3, dude got these good numbers, and you're saying, well, what is that equating to wins? But the fact that we are 3-1,
Hmm.
Kansas City's 4-0, our quarterback has better numbers in those 5 top categories. That can't be a bad thing. So again, the things that I believe are really hurting us guys are the injuries, especially in the trenches. Your offensive lineman, I mean, this is killing us, guys. It's not allowing us to do the little things that we need to do to open the game up to do bigger things. So, we those are the kind of things I think we need to worry about. Again, uh, please, let's see some Ciamalo back in this offensive line this week, Mike.
Yeah, that will pay dividends having him back, and that loss to Daniels is just huge. And apparently, Patrick Mahomes, pack up your 3 Super Bowls. Justin Fields is now the best quarterback in the NFL. Hey, numbers don't lie, baby.
That's right.
Numbers don't lie. But no, I saw that the other day, and I was shocked. I was shocked. How much we've been kind of wanting more out of Fields, doing more than the offense down in KC, and KC's a perennial Super Bowl contender. And like you said, his receivers aren't the best, but you still have Travis Kelce, you have Andy Reid, the super genius. You had Rashee Rice, who was supposed to be the big next young up and coming wide receiver. Who's Justin Fields have? We got George Pickens.
That's
We got
it.
Freiermuth. Freiermuth does not compare to Kelsey right now. So And Arthur Smith isn't exactly Andy Reid when it comes to play calling, apparently. But hey, we're producing a little bit more than them. I'll take it.
I also do want to say welcome to Field of Steel on the board. He says Steelers lose to the Cow Patties and my season is over. Tomlin better have Arthur Smith in the offense ready because I know 90 in the Steel D is going to set up the O for points. I agree. I think we're going to have a good game, guys. We're going to bounce back. I feel a win coming. I really do. Again, Sunday night, Dallas Cowboys. We don't generally lose on primetime games. Yeah, you can't hold anything on that. But at the end of the day, I like it, guys. I think we're going to walk out of this thing 4-1. So another couple interesting numbers here on our quarterback, Justin Fields, guys. This was the passing leaders from last week. Geno Smith was the top passing leader with 395 yards. Jordan Love, the second with 389. Baker Mayfield, third with 347. CJ Stroud, fourth with 345. And coming in at number 5 on the weekend from last week's performances, Justin Fields, the fifth most passing yards with 312 last weekend. So again, guys, if we can start to get healthy and start to keep people in a position for more than a week at a time, I think we're going to be in decent shape moving forward because again, there is more production being made than we've had over the past couple seasons. So if we can continue to find the little things that we need to do to win and Justin Fields can continue to play well, we might, it might be a good season. And again, there's so many teams. It's a big clump right in the middle. Nobody is running away. Nobody. I mean, yeah, Kansas City's 4-0, but everybody else, there's everybody else. Mike, I just think that the injuries will be the thing that cripple us. But if we could weather that storm, we have just as good a chance as anybody in that clump.
I think so too, especially with the defense that we have. We should, on paper, be able to shut anyone down. Yeah, we lost last week, but the defense, they found a way to keep the game close at the end. The offense was able to scrap back. A couple bad decisions here and there cost the game, but there's not an elite team in the NFL right now. Minnesota has flaws. We're seeing Kansas City with flaws. Everyone has flaws right now, and we're in a position to get to the playoffs like we do every year, like get close to, have a chance to make it. It's just once we get there, what are we going to do? We can't afford to have a losing streak. So this week, we, like you said on the board, we have to bounce back this week. We can't afford to have back-to-back losses this year at any point. It's just going to hurt us because this team isn't built to one come back from games and scrap back like we did the last couple of years, especially
going
with
into
this
that
schedule.
Second quarter of the season. You're not going to, you break the season down in fours. We lost the last game of the first quarter of the season. I don't want to go into the second quarter and lose that first game because again, the Raiders, they beat the Ravens, they beat the Browns. Again, the Jets and the Giants also come to Pittsburgh back-to-back weeks. Like we don't have a 1:00 game this month. Every game is either prime time or a 4:25, a 4:05, whatever that is out in Vegas. But all 4 games this month are either prime time, 2 Sunday nights, a Monday night, and a 4 something out in Las Vegas. Yeah. So I think Mark Malone, I think obviously the running the ball it's going to come down to the line as well. I mean, the fact that we're basically bringing guys, practice squad players over, and they're probably going to be getting, a good chance that they're going to be getting some playing time. That kind of scares me.
They're one injury away.
They're one injury away. And, you look at, again, teams who are in the Super Bowl, they generally have strong offensive lines. And I don't doubt that we have one as well. I think we put a lot into that this offseason, but it's just not where we're at right now, unfortunately. We just have to stop getting hurt. We got to stop getting injured.
And especially with Jaylen Warren being out again already, I believe I've read that correctly. Like they already said he's out. There's no chance he's going to play. Cordella Patterson, he's banged up. He needs to be in there. He needs to get some playing time because we saw, he was able to, those limited carries, he was able to catch the defense by surprise and pick up some chunk yardage, whereas Najee's having trouble again this year. Like the line. The line's the line. You can't use that excuse anymore. You have to find your own holes. You have to make your own holes. You're in the NFL. You can do it. You have to find a way to do it. We saw Lev Bell do it his first couple of years behind that bad offensive line until he made them look like $1 million. You find ways to make your own holes. And if the hole's not there, Najee, you're a big guy. Just plow it up in there, wear that defense down. They'll eventually come in there. Just don't be afraid to get a yard or two. Keep the defense. You have to keep the defense honest. And the running game in a lot of the backs, they're not doing that. They're not keeping the defense honest. They're trying to look for that big home run hit in the run game.
I agree with you, Mark Malone. He says with Ciamalo, Frazier, McCormick, Jones, we shouldn't be struggling.
Yeah,
I could argue.
exactly.
I could argue the Broderick Jones things. I mean, there's still a lot to be proven from this guy, but I generally agree.
But
But Mike, let's bring some positive things up. We're talking a lot of negative about our team. Okay, so the PFF, who a lot of people put a lot of
wait into
they for whatever reason, PFF says that Zach Frazier is a offensive rookie of the year candidate. Mike, I mean, a lot of times,
What?
yes, Zach Frazier is an offensive the year rookie of the year candidate at this time. A lot of people you always see wide receivers, defensive backs,
Mhm.
and players of this nature. But the fact that he is being recognized nationally, I think, is a good
Yeah.
thing for the
Yeah,
Steelers.
he is playing well. He has some bumps and learning mistakes,
Absolutely.
learning opportunities to happen in there, but he's playing really good football. Him and Fields, they got to figure out the snapping situation at some point. It's
And
getting
they'll
old.
get that. I mean,
You hope, but no, yeah, he's playing damn well. But him, Rick in the rookie of the year conversation, get out of here. The way Jaden Daniels
like
and his
again, I'm
neighbors are
trying to
playing, they
lighten
should
the
get
air
out of here.
because we've been negative. I'm trying to lighten
Yeah,
the air
I
here.
know. I just find it comical, but no, he is playing damn good football.
Also, Colin Coward. This was who Colin Coward named top 5 non quarterbacks in the league. So again, Mike, I'm trying to lighten the air.
I know.
Number one, Chris Jones, defensive tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs. Trent Williams, the offensive tackle for the 49ers. Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, and Max Crosby were Colin Coward's top 5 non quarterbacks. Mike, any arguments on them?
Who are they again? I'm sorry. I checked the board. I heard. I was reading the message board. I'm sorry.
Colin Coward. I
Yeah.
apologize to everybody else that has to do this twice because Mike wasn't paying attention. Colin Coward's top 5 non QBs:
No, yeah.
Chris
Okay.
Jones, Trent Williams, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, and Max Crosby.
Yeah.
I would boot Myles Garrett right out of there. I mean, listen
I
to
would
what he's
agree.
saying. Listen to what he's saying, guys. Colin Coward's top 5 non
Yeah.
QBs.
Yeah.
Nobody else in the league fits in that category besides Myles Garrett.
Like where's
Nobody.
like Fred Warner? Who's the middle linebacker who's all every game, every team he plays for, he has like 1,000
Or
tackles a year.
anybody. Mike, this isn't even just defense. This is top
Yeah.
5 non QBs.
Yeah. I put Justin Jefferson above him.
I would put a lot of people above
You
him.
take Jetta out of Minnesota, they're not that good.
Also, here's another one. I just want to lighten the air up in here. If the
Okay.
playoff started today, guys, if the playoff started today, which they don't, so you don't have to email me 100 emails. If the playoff started today, the Pittsburgh Steelers would be in fact playing the Indianapolis Colts this weekend, who they just played. This is what the bracket looks like as of right now. If the playoff started today, excuse me, Kansas City and Minnesota would be your 1 seeds on each side of the bracket. In the AFC, the Baltimore Ravens would be at the Houston Texans. The Indianapolis Colts would be at the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Jets would be at Buffalo. So that's pretty interesting. Those are some pretty intriguing games.
Yeah.
And then in the NFC, Mike, the Saints would be at Tampa Bay, Atlanta would be at Washington, and Detroit would be have a rematch of the other night against Seattle. So there you go, guys. If the playoffs started today, that means after a quarter way through the season, we're doing pretty good.
Well, I would say, it's supposed to be the positive part of the show, but I think we'd lose that matchup again because Hayward's not showing up again because it's the playoffs. Watt might actually show up. He's starting to show up in the last couple playoff games where we were in. So it might be, we might have a chance. We might have a chance.
I apologize. I got a little bit behind on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Phil Steele says, here's what I've seen from Arthur Smith's first down run, second down run, third down to third. Okay. Big Ben would tell 82, 84, and 10. I'm throwing it up. Go get it in there.
Mm-hmm.
No two ways about that. John says first in Najee, second in Najee, third and long. Jen says Garrett with his foot still makes the list. What the fuck? Phil Steele says nice lit. Okay. Jen says sounds good to me. A rematch. I don't know if I'd want that rematch.
I
Just
want it.
right
I
now.
want it now.
I'm not afraid. I'm not
I just
afraid of
now
the
talked
Colts.
myself into it in my head.
I'm not afraid of the Colts, but again, I just
If
I
we're
just
healthy, I want it.
yeah, if we were healthy.
We got Sayamalu back now. Now I want it. We got Sayamalu.
And then also Phil still says, "Oh yeah, Nadi would kill Flacco." You know what? If we had a week prepared for Flacco, the thing was, I think we prepared for Anthony Richardson, and that shouldn't be an excuse. But at the end of the day, it is. You're facing a whole different kind of, a style of play.
Yeah.
So
We saw this the last time, when we won that Super Bowl, 40? We went up there in the regular season, lost to them, play them again in the playoffs, and we pulled out the victory. We were able to, yes, different coaching staffs, but this team, I think we would beat them in the rematch. I don't fear the Colts a second
Chris
time.
Sims says this, Mike. We're talking about the defense a little bit in this Colts game. Chris Sims says the Steelers defense looks scared of something, like they were playing scared against Indianapolis. I don't necessarily disagree with that. I think basically my assessment is if they would have had a week to practice and prepare for Joe Flacco, it would have probably been different. I mean, the guy we prepared for played the whole first drive. And then beyond that, there was no, you didn't expect Joe Flacco. And then all of a sudden, again, look what Joe Flacco did in Cleveland last year. It's not that he's not a bad backup quarterback. The guy won a Super Bowl. He's successful. If we would have had a week to prepare for the quarterback that played, I think that we get different results. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, what I read correctly is we played a whole hell of a lot more zone than we normally do, and I think that was to prepare for Richardson's legs if he would break contain. Let the backers and corners break off their route once he broke contain, so you can stop him from hitting those long runs. And we just weren't ready as a team to play zone defense all game long. We should play man with zone in. It's we gotta. They didn't adjust the way we saw them the first three games, offensively and defensively adjust. And that was just the big frustrating part. Exactly, Mark. Yeah, why we stayed in zone the whole game? It boggles my mind.
Here's a survey that was taken. A lot of times players take these surveys and it's about stadiums. And
I saw this.
We get bad marks generally for Heinz Field. Get this. Survey Pittsburgh amongst least favorite road trips, and one of the reasons is because the locker room smells like piss.
Yeah.
You say yeah, like that. That's
it's the opposing locker room,
right?
Yeah,
I'd leave a big dump in the middle of the floor before they showed up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Screw you. You're visiting. We don't care what your locker room looks like or smells
It'd be like the old high school gym locker room.
Yeah, exactly. Deal with it.
A couple of notes here from around the NFL, guys. The Tennessee and Miami Monday Night Football game, not the Seattle and not the whoever Seattle played. It's not coming to me off the top of my head, but the Tennessee and Miami Monday Night Football game, guys, only got 5.6 million viewers. Mike, is that saying that the least intriguing football game on Monday night is just not going to do well? Because I think the game with Seattle and Detroit, obviously, they got a lot of people watching. But Tennessee and Miami, Mike, 5 million people watched the game Monday.
Those teams should not have been on that list. Should not have been a Monday night game to begin with, even if Tua was healthy.
Do you think that they should put two intriguing games on, though? I mean, that's
I
would going to lose their mind.
Yeah. See, I think they're doing it the way they are, putting like a bum matchup and a good matchup on, and hoping if that dud one is actually a dud, hey, we got this good one that people are going to fall back and watch.
Yeah,
but I think it's a disservice to
Mike,
to all the
5 million
fans.
people. That's nothing. I mean, for an NFL game, that's nothing.
No, it's especially on a Monday night. 5 million people watching you on Monday night. No, that's not in the grand scheme of things. That's not a lot of people watching your game, and those should be the marquee games. There should only be one Monday night game. If you want to have a day of the week where there's a doubleheader, Thursday night, because those games suck anyway.
Also, Mike, this will make you feel good, guys. Everybody knows that the Indianapolis Colts messed with the terrible towel. Here's a little bit of a scoop on the Jacksonville Jaguars, who did it last year. Trevor Lawrence says, yeah, they wave those little yellow rags around, the Since then, the Jacksonville Jaguars started 8-3 last year, and then they played us. Mike, they've won 9. They've lost 9 of their last 10 games since they did that to the terrible towel. Think about that for a second. Just let that sink in. 8-3. That's a pretty damn good start in the NFL. I gotta say. Since that day with the terrible towel, 1-9.
Oh,
So Colts, hold on to your seat because it came after the game we played with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and after that. So from right now, according to the terrible towel, it ain't going to get any better for the Indianapolis Colts moving forward. The Detroit Lions, get this, guys, with the baseball playoffs started, this is the first time in 89 years Detroit will host playoffs in baseball and football in the same calendar season.
Wow.
And that's good. Good for them. I like, they're similar to Pittsburgh. Detroit is the city. So I like, they were bad for a long time. So I don't mind them winning. Here's another one. Jared Goff, speaking of the Detroit Lions, here's an interesting stat. He has more touchdown catches this season than Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Jalen Waddle, George Pickens, Sam Laporta, Travis Kelce, and Mark Andrews. That's right. The quarterback for the Detroit Lions, Jared Goff, has more touchdown catches this year than Deebo, Ayuk, Waddle, Pickens, Laporta, Kelce, and Mark Andrews. So there's something to think about. If you don't think that this season's bizarre,
that right there,
that is just
like because everyone that you listed off, you'd assume at this time of year would have like 2 to 3 touchdowns, at least one, but at least 2 to 3. But my God, I love this is why I love the NFL. You never know what you're going to get.
You never know.
Never know.
And then tonight, guys, there is football. It is the Buccaneers at the Atlanta Falcons, 8:15 Thursday night football. Guys, here's something interesting that I do want to say. Starting today, if you love football, get this, guys. 55 straight days of football from today until the day before Thanksgiving will be the next day that there is no football. Every day from today till the day before Thanksgiving, straight football, either NFL, college, some sort, football on TV. I'm losing my mind over here about this, and I got to tell you, Mike, I'm pretty excited. 55 straight days of football.
Like how can you not? How could you not be excited for that? When I read that too today, it actually brightened up my day. It's just football.
Mike, let's move on because we do have to do our picks. We got to get that in. Let me just cover a couple other things here real quick, and then we'll get into the picks. Guys, Pittsburgh Penguins, they took an L on Tuesday night. They lost to the Red Wings in the second game of the 1-1. They lost 2-1. They fell to 2-3 in the preseason. Today they play at Columbus, 7:00. Tomorrow, Columbus comes to town in a 1-1 to play at PPG Arenas at 7:00 tomorrow. The season opener, guys, is October 9th next week. They will be hosting the New York Rangers, 7:30 on the 9th. In baseball, Jaywan Bay and Nick York was named to the AAA All-Star team. Nice to see that. Good for them, guys. And also, Charrington says the Bucks need to get better faster following another last place finish. Well, no shit.
Isn't that your job? Thank you, Mr.
Isn't that your job? Yeah, what are you complaining about?
He's going to hold a bake sale outside of PNC Park to get some more money to go sign an over-the-hill free agent.
Let me jump down to Pitt. The Pitt football team off to a surprising start, as everybody knows. They play at North Carolina this week to start off their ACC schedule. At this time, they are the 5th top scoring offense in the country. Tennessee being 1, Miami being 2, Indiana being 3, Ohio State being 4, and Pitt being 5 in the country. So good luck to them. Hopefully they continue to keep it up because a 5-0 start for the Pitt Panthers is pretty big. So let's go Pitt, H2P. Here we go. And finally, Mike, I got a question for you guys before we get into the picks. This is a quick question about Pete Rose. Is his lifetime ban lifted?
If his is lifted, you have to lift the.
And I'm not. Ban. I mean, they're all fine. That's fine.
No, I'm going to say, like,
but your personal. I want you to yes or no. Should Pete Rose's lifetime, because his lifetime is over, ban be lifted, and should Pete Rose go into the play or into the Hall of Fame?
If
I
they
don't,
do it for him, do it for
and that's fine. They could do
for the
whatever for anybody
Blackstocks.
else.
Yeah, I'm putting it into context here.
Okay.
This not just a yes or no
Well,
answer.
I just want to yes or no because we don't have really that much time. So I mean, as
Okay,
simple as you
well,
can.
Yes.
Derpy, you think he should? Okay.
only if you do it with the others.
Okay. And we do got to get to the picks, guys. We got about 10 minutes left in the show. So Derpy, get ready. Mike, put your thinking cap on because
No.
you have to really, really get back in this thing
No.
being down 3-1.
Fake news.
And Mike is already being shitty. So here we go, guys. He didn't even lose yet. All right, here we go. So, guys, it's going to start tonight between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta. Derpy, I'm going to start with you this time. Who do you like tonight in the Buccaneers Falcons game, Thursday night football?
Give me the Atlanta Falcons.
All right. Mike, who do you like in this game? Buccaneers at Atlanta.
Give me the Buccaneers, baby.
That's where I would have went to.
Baker Mayfield, man.
What can you say about this guy right now? Sunday, 9:30 a.m. The 9:30 a.m. game this year or this week is between the Jets and the Vikings. Mike, Jets, Vikings, 9:30 a.m. Sunday. Who do you like?
Give me the Vikings, baby. They're playing such good football right now.
Derpy, the 9:30 a.m. game, Eastern Standard Time. Jets, Vikings. Who do you like?
Give me Sam Darnold and the Vikings.
All right, guys. First 1 o'clock game of the day. The Panthers at the Bears. Panthers at Bears. Derpy, who do you like?
The Bears.
The Bears. Mike, what about you? Panthers at Bears.
I'm gonna have to agree. Yeah. Well, actually, yeah, because they have the better defense. Give me the Bears.
All right. Also, 1 o'clock, the Browns at the Commanders. Mike, the Browns at the Commanders. This might be better than people would have thought before the season started.
Oh yeah. Give me a rookie of the year, Jaden Daniels over Myles Garrett and Browns.
All right, Derpy's over to you. Same question. Browns at Commanders.
I'm gonna go with Cleveland, unfortunately.
All right.
Ooh.
All right, interesting pick. Guys, the next game is the Miami Dolphins at the New England Patriots. Derpy, Dolphins at Patriots.
Give me the Dolphins.
Mike, same question to you. Dolphins at Patriots.
Dolphins are in disarray. Give me the New England Patriots.
All right.
Mike McDaniels gets fired this year. That's my bold prediction.
Interesting. All right. Mike, Colts at Jags. Colts at Jags. Jags hasn't won since last year. Colts didn't look too bad to me. I don't know. Colts at Jags.
Give me Joe Flacco again. He's gonna put on another great.
Won't you lose your mind if the Jaguars win this game?
I will, Toby. So yes, because they both fucked with the towel. I think the Colts get a little reprieve.
All right, so you're taking
because their players didn't do what the Jags players did.
All right, Derpy, Colts at Jacksonville.
Give me the Jags.
All right. Second to last 1 o'clock game of the day. Bills at the Texans. Derpy, Bills at the Texans. This should be a pretty good game. Houston not playing as good as a lot of people thought they were going to be this year so far, but nonetheless, it should be good. Bills, Texans, Derpy.
I'm going against my Ohio State guy. Give me the Bills.
All right, Mike, same question. Bills, Texans at Houston.
Stephon Diggs revenge game. Give me the Houston Texans.
All right. And last 1 o'clock game of the day, guys, division play for the AFC North. Mike, Ravens at the Bengals. The Ravens going to the jungle. They both have the Bengals are 1-3. Ravens are 2-2. Who do you like in this game?
Baltimore. The way that offense was rolling, Monday night they played or Sunday night when they played. Yeah, give me Baltimore.
They just rolled over Buffalo.
And that Cincy defense is terrible.
Derpy, Baltimore at Cincinnati.
Derrick Henry may not be washed after all.
Give me the Ravens. Oh my God, he looked like a monster. He looked better than he did in Tennessee in Baltimore.
He looked like a man playing against boys. It's ridiculous.
Exactly. Okay, first 4 o'clock game, 4:05, guys. Raiders at Broncos. Derpy, Raiders at Broncos. The Raiders seem to be beating all the right teams. The Broncos are finally winning. Who do you like in this? Raiders at Broncos.
Give me the hated Raiders.
All right, I like it. Mike, same with you. Hated Raiders or the Mile High Broncos.
Give me the Broncos, man. At least they have no drama going on like the Raiders do. I'm not sure if Max Crosby's back for this week. I know Devontae Adams is out. And give me this spunky Denver
The
Broncos
hated
team.
Raiders. All right, so you're taking Denver.
I'm taking Denver.
Also 405, gentlemen, the Cardinals at the 49ers, an AFC West matchup. Mike, Cardinals at the Niners.
Give me the Niners. Brock Purdy's proven a lot of doubters wrong, doing stuff out there without all the all pros.
Derpy, over to you. Same question. San Francisco's hosting Arizona. Who do you like?
I'm going with the Cardinals.
All right.
I can see it.
I was going to take the Cardinals. 425 as well, guys. Giants at Seahawks. I think we saw and that's the thing. You don't want to say you think you saw the real Seahawks, but you got a better glimpse at what the Seahawks are. Of course, they started undefeated and they lost to Detroit on Monday night. You got, like I said, you get a better idea of what Seattle is. They're not bad. Giants at Seahawks.
Oh, this is actually a tough one.
The Giants look better this year.
They look better. Daniel Jones is playing a lot better than I thought he would. Malik Neighbors is helping that a lot, but he's only one guy on that team. I'm gonna give it to Seattle.
Derby, Seattle hosting the Giants.
Give me the 12th man. Give me Seattle.
All right, guys, down to a few games here. 3 games left to pick. The Packers at the Rams. Derby, Packers at Rams. Last 425 game of the day on Sunday. Packers at Rams.
Give me the Rams.
Interesting. Mike, over to you. Same question. Packers at Rams.
This is a tough one. I'm going to go with the Rams as well.
Interesting.
I didn't like the way the Packers looked last week.
We're going to jump over the Steelers-Cowboys briefly. Mike, the Saints and the Chiefs play Monday night. Saints-Chiefs Monday night at Kansas City. Any chance that the Saints beat this Kansas City team? If they would come out the way they did the first couple weeks of the season, this might be an interesting showdown.
Yeah.
But Saints at Chiefs.
This is going to be stupid.
This will be the one that you lose on. You watch.
I know. Give me the Saints. I think Kansas City's struggles finally catch up to them in a little bit of like a trap game.
Derpy, Saints at the Chiefs. Saints at the Chiefs.
Mike, you should be shocked because I'm going with the Saints as well.
Jeez, oh man.
Shit. Derpy is no longer the president of the Taylor Swift fan club.
And finally, the Cowboys at the Steelers. This game is the 8:20 Sunday night football game. Cowboys at the Steelers. Derpy, I need your winner and I need your score for a tiebreaker.
Give me the Cowboys, unfortunately.
All right. What do you think the score will be?
21-23.
21-23. So a total of 44 points for Derpy's tiebreaker. Mike, the Cowboys at the Steelers. Derpy took the Cowboys. He says they will win 23-21. What is your pick?
Final score 35-28. Your Pittsburgh Steelers over the Dallas Cowboys.
So Steelers over the Cowboys. I believe that's like 63 points.
We're taking the over big time on this one.
Yeah, I'll say. So there you go.
Now talk to me tomorrow, and I'll be like, "Oh shit, why did I do that?"
Every day,
every day, my pick changes.
Every day it gets closer, you get a little bit less confident.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, but by kickoff, I'm going to say we're going to lose by 50. Okay.
So there they are. There's the picks. They are knocked out for the week. I'm going to put them in a vault. We'll bring them out on Tuesday after the last game is played Monday night. And we'll see how we do. Again, Derpy, you are up 3-1 so far after 4 weeks. Keep it up because there is Permani Brothers sandwiches up for grabs in this competition this year. Mike, why don't you go and tell everybody about the website?
the2.yinzers.com. Go over there, check it out, everyone. Especially if you're new here, we have more links over there on social media than we have here at YouTube. We got the merchandise store, and we got the blog. The blog is back. The blog is back. I have a new blog post up. Why Justin Fields should be the starter from here on out. So go check it out.
And Derpy
The two W just
over to
If you're
Derpy. Do
if
we
you're new to
do we have to practice this again?
I think so. I forgot we were doing it back over to Derpy.
I don't have listen. We don't have time. Well, tomorrow we'll start the show. We'll go step by step again. Derpy, you could repeat after me, and Mike will explain the process of
No,
the order that it goes. You want to do this? You want to do this now?
no, let's just
All right.
Derpy over to you.
if you're new to the Dude on Yinzer show, be sure to subscribe below and pound that like button.
Hey, yeah, you
See,
too.
Derpy, you need your coffee, bud. You
I
need your
know
coffee.
that was the first time, Derby, that
I know he didn't
I
have his
wasn't
coffee, and
thrilled
he's
with your
on.
performance on that. But you know
Yeah,
what? We'll let you slide this time.
you know, this was his Colts game performance. We'll let it
This
slide.
was his
These things
trap game.
happen, and
All
this was
right,
his trap game.
all right. I guess. Dallas Cowboy trivia again on the show,
Oh,
guys. We always do the week leading up to the game. We'll do trivia about the opponents, about the other team, see how much we know. And this week it is about the Dallas Cowboys, guys. If you're ready, put on your thinking caps. People on the board, you could give answer as well. People at home, here we go. Question of the day is a Dallas Cowboy trivia question. Which quarterback set a franchise record for throwing 32,942 passing yards for the Dallas Cowboys? Was it A, Troy Aikman? Was it B, Roger Staubach? Was it C, Dak Prescott? Or was it D, Tony Romo? Guys, I'm looking for the quarterback to set a franchise record for throwing 32,942 passing yards. It's either Troy Aikman, Roger Staubach, Dak Prescott, or Tony Romo. Take a minute to think that over, guys. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day, right here on YouTube. All right, guys, the question of the day, one more time, is a Dallas Cowboy question. Which quarterback set a franchise record for throwing 32,942 passing yards? Was it Troy Aikman? Was it Roger Staubach? Was it Dak Prescott? Or was it Tony Romo? John on the board said Mike McDaniel's Derpy's brother. I like it.
That's a good one. That's
All right. Jokes aside, Mike, coming to you first. Which quarterback set a franchise record for the Dallas Cowboys by throwing 32,942 yards? It's either Aikman, Staubach, Prescott, or Romo. Who do you think?
I don't know. I know Dak's been in the league a while, but has he been in? To get that?
John on the board saying Romo. Field of Steel said Choky Romo, but I assume that's
Choco
who he's
Romo. Yeah,
that's who he's
Choco
picked.
Romo. Give me Dak. Give me Dak. I think he already broke.
Dak Prescott. Okay. And is that your final answer?
Final answer.
All right, Derpy, over to you. Which quarterback set a franchise record for the Dallas Cowboys, throwing 32,492 passing yards? It was one of these men. Was either Troy Aikman, Roger Staubach, Dak Prescott, Tony Romo. Two on the board said Romo. Mike says Dak Prescott. Derpy, who do you think?
give me the worst in the business on analysis. Give me Tony Romo.
All right, so that's three Romos on this. Guys, again, one more time. Which quarterback set a franchise record for the Dallas Cowboys for throwing 32,942 passing yards? It was either Aikman, Staubach, Prescott, Romo. Majority of the people picked Tony Romo. Mike, you took Dak Prescott. Derpy, I'm locking you in place on Romo. Here we go. Which QB set a franchise record for the Cowboys for throwing 32,942 yards? Aikman, Staubach, Prescott, Romo. The answer, in fact, guys, is Troy Aikman.
Oh,
Wow.
Troy Aikman. Yep. There he is, guys. I think that's who I would have picked. I don't know because I directly looked straight at the answer when I read the question, so I don't know, but I think that's who I would have picked.
I was thinking of picking him, but it was just Smith.
That's all right, man. The big competition starts for you with these picks. So Derpy, again, good luck, Mike. Good luck as the competition continues. Derpy, anything before we start getting ready to wrap it up, man?
If you haven't gotten coffee today, get coffee.
Mike, what about you? Anything before we wrap it up?
Yeah, real quick. We're Steelers run defense is faced number 4, number 6, number 7, number 16. We go up against Dallas. Their run defense is number 27. Hopefully, this will be a sign with the banged up O line. We can get that run game going there, fellas. So yeah, let's go Steelers. One more show. I can't wait.
All right. My thing is this, guys. Announced yesterday, Duquesne University will host 2027 D1 men's basketball rounds 1 and 2 at PPG Arena, guys. So if you want to get down as you did last year to see, because Pitt hosted the Division One March Madness tournament, Duquesne will be hosting it in 2027 at PPG Arena as well. So I thought that was pretty cool. I might make it down this time around. I also do want to say thank you to everybody who came and hung out and checked us out today. We appreciate each and every one of you. We really do. We certainly couldn't do it without you. I want to thank everybody on the board. You guys are awesome as always. And you guys always keep things interesting here on the Two Dumb Yinzers show. Tonight, be sure to catch the Pittsburgh Penguins. Will be back in action at 7 o'clock, playing the first of 1-1 at Columbus. They'll be coming home tomorrow to play the Blue Jackets as well. And in the NFL tonight, the Thursday night game is between the Buccaneers and the Falcons. That game is in Atlanta, and that starts at 8:15 tonight. Anything else, guys?
Nope. I'm just 51 days of football, baby.
55
days. My bad. Yeah. 55 days of football. I'm so excited. I can't count.
Derby, anything else? Speak now. Forever hold your peace.
Our 6 trophies are shiny as Mike's bald head.
The hell did I do to you?
Caught a stray.
Man.
But again, thank you, everybody. We will be back tomorrow. First thing to talk about all kind of stuff. Tomorrow is Friday, so we'll be covering a lot of sports going into the weekend from the Western Pennsylvania area right here in Pittsburgh. We'll be here to talk about the game tonight, the Penguin game, and again, lots and lots of things getting ready to go into the weekend, being highlighted by the Steelers-Cowboys Sunday night football game. So, gentlemen, if that's everything for you, I'm going to say for Derpy, Mike in the Steelers Central Mobile Studio, myself, the Two Dumb Yinzers. Yes, Phil the Steel, here we go. Guys, we'll be back tomorrow. First thing, we hope to see you all then. For the Two Dumb Yinzers, have a great day. Bye-bye.